All right. The United Nations nuclear watchdog says that nuclear talks between the U.S. and Iran are, quote, at a very crucial stage. The next round of meetings are set to take place tomorrow in Rome. They come as the U.S. launched what appears to be the deadliest strike on Yemen's Houthi rebels under President Trump. The blast at an oil port killed at least 58 and left more than 100 wounded. The Trump administration has linked its airstrikes in Yemen to its effort to pressure Iran over its nuclear program. I want to bring in Osamah Khalil. He is the chair of the International Relations Program at Syracuse University. Okay, sir, we're seeing more intense attacks from the Department of Defense on Yemen. Is this pressure tactic at all working, or is it making things worse?
No, I would argue it's making things much worse, and this is really unnecessary. We see a failed policy under the Biden administration of attempting to separate the situation in Yemen and the Ansar Allah movement, the Houthi movement in Yemen, from Israel's war in Gaza. Ansar Allah has made it clear that these two are connected, and the Biden administration refused to accept that and launched these airstrikes, the beginning of the airstrikes. The Trump administration, unfortunately, has continued them, and rather than seeking a diplomatic off-ramp. And what we've seen, quite frankly, is that the United States has spent billions of dollars bombing Yemen, one of the poorest countries on earth, in a very failed effort to dissuade the Ansar Allah movement from supporting Palestinians in Gaza. All of this could have been ended at least a year and a half ago, and the fact that it's continuing under the Trump administration is another yet failed policy here, attempting to use airstrikes when diplomacy could work. Now, the Trump administration is claiming this is an attempt to pressure Iran, but it's unclear to me, quite frankly, why bombing a port, killing paramedics and port workers is somehow going to pressure Iran in negotiations. If the United States wants to negotiate with Iran, it should negotiate with Iran. There's no reason to be bombing Yemen to do that.
And yet, President Trump has made overtures and suggested that he is looking for some kind of diplomatic or diplomacy with Iran. Talk to me about that effort and how Israel views those efforts.
Well, according to reports, Israel's been trying to convince the Trump administration to launch attacks on Iran. So yet again, another expanded war in the region. So this would build on, we have a war in Gaza in which the United States is supporting Israel directly and through arming and funding. We have the United States now bombing Yemen in support of that war. And of course, Israel attempting to talk to the United States into bombing Iran. Now, according to press reports that were leaked, it appears that President Trump rejected those overtures and instead is at the moment committed to diplomacy. And I think, to be clear, considering what this means, it's not just that the United States and Israel can bomb Iran and it'll be over in 15 minutes. We've been sold that line multiple times. We were sold it in Yemen, for example. So if you just take a look at Yemen and let's see what's happened for the past 18 or 19 months, the United States has spent billions of dollars bombing Yemen with no discernible impact. Now, if you were to try and start bombing Iran, and considering what the Ansar Allah movement has done in terms of diverting shipping from the Red Sea and the Suez Canal, some 80% of shipping has been diverted out of the Red Sea. If you take that exponentially with Iran, should the United States and Israel begin bombing Iran, what that would mean to the global economy, what that would mean to shipping coming out of the Persian Gulf, in particular oil supplies, will be dramatic. This is on top of everything that's happened the past few weeks to the global economy following the Trump tariffs. So this is another ill-advised and ill-fated military campaign in which American public is being sold on the potential for airstrikes that won't be successful. Now, in terms of the diplomacy, there's a real effort, there's a real attempt here, and there's a real possibility to finally resolve this issue with Iran. Now, President Trump is unlikely to admit he made a mistake in canceling the joint comprehensive agreement that they had with Iran's nuclear program. He won't admit the mistake. What he can do is now actually complete that agreement in a way that we can actually reduce tensions in the region and globally. Now, hopefully they will do that, and we're seeing some flexibility on the Iranian side, but at the same time, they want a commitment from the United States that this agreement won't be torn up by the next administration or by the Trump administration itself.
Fascinating insight there, Mr. Osamah Khalil. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.